I first got into teaching, I wanted to go to the hardest place in Austin, the hardest school to teach at, and I thought that I would really be able to change kids' lives and save the school, essentially. So my first year at Reagan, I wasn't a believer. Pretty much everything didn't go like I thought it would. The school was just not in order at all, and it was really hard to get going as a teacher. So I thought I was going to be this really amazing teacher when really I could barely function daily because the stresses of kids dropping out of school, kids not coming to school, just being really insubordinate and not wanting to do anything. And so I actually thought about not staying. And then that summer, I just had some friends in my life that kind of started telling me about Jesus. And then that next year, I decided to stay at Reagan. That next year, a friend of mine took me to church, and I heard the gospel for the first time to where it really spoke to me, and I was moved. And so right after that, it was just like a flood of change in my life. Some of the needs that I saw in the kids, they needed somebody to love them unconditionally, continuing to love them even when they pushed back. They needed mentorship, and they needed somebody in their life to hang out with them and speak truth into their life. Obviously, it's against the law for me to preach the gospel during school, but it's not against the law for me to do that after school. And so if I created relationships with these kids, that they would also want to spend time after school where we could talk about the Bible, and we could talk about God, and we could talk about truth. The gospel just came up because you get into their lives and they're talking about what's going on. And I actually went to our church and just kind of told them about how we really needed volunteers. They did a big push for volunteering, and we had about 1,000 volunteers come that first year. Those people started mentoring kids, mentorships that still last to this day. And then it kind of led to also we would take all the kids to basketball games together. So we would drive them. We'd load up 3, 4, 5, 6 cars full of kids and drive them all over the place, including out of city. I did a mission trip after my first year, and I brought back video footage from the slum, or one of the slums in Kenya. So my kids were really moved by that. A lot of them cried the first day of school. So I kind of thought oh, this will teach them about their entitlement. And for some of them, that was all it was. But for 12 of them, they decided they wanted to go to Africa. Over that next year, raised about $50,000 for them to go see these kids in the slum, to get them ready, because going across the world with 12 kids who also have their own issues going on in their life took jumping through hoops. We would spend probably 2 or 3 nights a week doing Bible studies with them. There were about 20 mentors. I mentored these 12 kids and just basically loved them and told them about Jesus. It was really amazing how God had this amazing idea to take 12 kids from this school across the world. But in doing that, growing them in their faith. God did all of that, because I have no idea how that happened.